coming in nice.
Nick Elliott said Saturday. Monday might feel different at home.
I mean, different, yeah. I think every Monday feels a little different. You know, you're preparing for different teams, but I think in terms of our preparation, at least, and going out and getting a good start on a Monday, you know, I think we did a good job at least putting Saturday behind us and focusing on the task at hand.
It sounds like from talking to some of the other guys that the meeting was really where you guys were still a little somber, a little bit.
Well, yeah, I think the way we schedule things is that first meeting on Monday is all about putting it all behind us, and you know, it's hard to watch that film, but we definitely have to, and we have to take away from it, you know, what we can and figure out what we need to improve on to be more successful, particularly on the offensive side of the ball.
Offensively, what were you able to take away? I mean, it's just so
just things that we can change, you know, and effort. I think that's the one thing, you know, Stanford came out and played with more effort than us, and I think that's the first time that's happened in a long time since I've been here. And, you know, you can't really coach effort. That's just something you got to come out and bring. But there are a lot of things we can coach in terms of understanding technique and communication, and just having a little bit of better anticipation for what defenses are going to do to us and how they're going to try and shut us down. You know, I think if we have a couple calls out there that if we anticipate near the end and you know, make certain adjustments, you know, we're in a lot better situation. And you know, unfortunately that didn't happen, and we got to learn how to put ourselves in those better situations this week.
Why do you think it was that you guys didn't have the effort to match Stanford's?
Well, you know, I think a lot of times when you're too busy trying to think about what's coming at you, you don't come off the ball as physical, at least up front as an offensive line. That's something watching the film I can tell. You know, guys get a little confused. Somebody moves up front, and then all of a sudden, you know, calls change, center's head's down. You know, who knows what the reason is, but guys don't come off as physical or as low, and that doesn't help us.
It seems like something you'll have to pay attention to specifically this year too, with guys like Wynn and Crichton up front.
Yeah, those guys off the edge are really tough. You know, I remember last year when I played tackle that you know, they looked tough on film, but when we got in the game, they really shut us down off the edge physically. You know, in terms of pass rush, they're guys that will try and go right through the tackle, and that's something we really got to coach up this week and prepare ourselves for.
Would you say it was not a problem tempo? You got up tempo?
No, I don't think it's the tempo. I think one of the things is you know, a huge thing is, you know, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll make calls, and then, you know, the center's got to put his head down, and it's on those other four guys to let him know when things are kind of adjusting or you know, we just had to be more, you know, prepared to make adjustments and make calls, and we didn't make enough.
Growing up in Brush Prairie, kind of were around the Apple Cup, now you've been fully ingrained. What's it mean to you?
Yeah, you know, halfway between Seattle and Eugene is about where I'm at. So all the Northwest school rivalries I've always paid attention to, but Civil War is really important to me. You know, always get a lot of bragging rights at home. You know, a lot of Beaver fans, a lot of Duck fans, and it's great for the state. You know, we don't talk about rivalry games here, but it's really good for the fans to just be able to compete. And, you know, it's a good rivalry. You know, guys go to work. You know, my mom goes to work in Portland, and, you know, Beaver fans wear their stuff, Duck fans wear their stuff. You know, it never gets too nasty, but there's always a little bit of trash talk this week, and, you know, it's all in good fun. We can't wait to go out there and play the game.
You feel almost as an offense a little bit exposed after a game like Stanford that maybe a team has figured out a game plan to stop this offense?
Well, I think most teams have an idea of a game plan that they'd like to try and stop our offense. You know, certainly does it expose some things we need to improve? I think, yeah, but I think that helps us just as much. You know, those are things we learn to improve on. You know, other teams are going to see that, but they're going to know we might not be making those same mistakes 2 weeks in a row. We hope not to.
You guys watch the BCS show at all on Sunday? I know you guys preach.
I mean, maybe some guys do. I don't. I mean, I know on my Sundays when I'm you know, not watching my favorite NFL teams, I'm probably not watching much football at all.
But you guys have an idea of what needs to happen in order for you to get back in the picture?
I know we need to win this week. I mean, that's all that matters. That's all we can control. You know, if we get to play more games after that, then we'll do it when they sign us up for those. But right now, we only know that we have one game left on our schedule, and you know, that's the game we're going to play, and it's the game we have to win.
It's one thing to go from scoring 30 a game and then having 14, but you guys went from 54 a game to 14. How much of a shock is that to the system to have a team do that to you?
It's definitely surprising. It's definitely something we don't want. You know, our expectations are a lot higher than that. You know, not much more you can say than that. You know, I mean, it's a shock, but I'm not going to let it affect me here on a Monday. You know, it was hard to wake up yesterday, you know, and just move on with it. And now I think a lot of our guys have done a great job doing that, and now we got to get the whole team on board.
Is it hard kind of to do that, just with all, you know, with the expectations? And
you know, I think the hardest thing is just coming out that Monday with the same energy. You know, you get a little beat up, especially this part of the season, and it's really a mental thing to push past the physical soreness and, you know, being tired, and just coming out and realizing that on Monday, you know, you got to come out and you got to get a lot of work in, and if you can come out and get that work, it makes the whole rest of the week a lot easier, and getting a good start on it, you know, is the best way to go, and I think we did that today.
You still got a lot to play for, no matter.
Yeah.
No matter
I think there's always a lot to play for whenever you get the prominence that Oregon has over the past couple of years, and you get a lot of TV viewers. Everybody wants to play. Oregon State's chopping at the bit, to play us, and we're excited to play them. And any opportunity you get to play college football, big stage, it's awesome, and you got to be ready for it.
Surprised at all how quickly Oregon State's been able to turn around? I mean, they were picked again finished last in the preseason.
I'm not surprised. As long as I've been around, that program's always been a competitor. It's just like with every team, sometimes injuries can really, really derail a season and what you're expecting. And I think last year, that might have happened for them a little bit. In the past couple of years, they haven't been very healthy. But, I think this year they're pretty healthy and they're really physical. And, they're not afraid of anybody. And, that's great. We can't wait for it. It's going to be a huge challenge.